Welcome back to Hide Your Moms. We are on episode 11. Oh, my bad. It feels good to be back. It's been a little bit long. I feel like I'm always having to say something. But last week's episode was with my mom. The microphone audio cut out, ruined the entire thing. It was an hour and a half. It was so funny. It was so good. I was very frustrated, but when you're trying to run a podcast, I guess things like that happen. It's just very frustrating. So just going to have to get through it, move on. Didn't get to get another podcast in time recorded before I went to New York. So the time difference just wasn't, not the time difference, but the time was just not enough for me to be able to get it done. I'm very sorry. I don't know what else to say other than I'm very sorry. I told you I was going to do one a week. That's still my plan. Just last episode was something, a little bit of a learning curve for me. So over that, sorry. I'm having to live with it. Hopefully you guys don't hate me. You guys probably didn't even notice. But I'm trying to stay consistent with myself. And if I break promises to myself, then probably more likely to break promises of other people. So gonna move on, hop into this episode. We got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to cover. And yeah, let's hop into it. I got a haircut. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I did get a haircut. Every haircut I get is very subtle. That's it. I mean, there's not much to it. I got it about a week ago. I got it the day after the last podcast came out. So different hair in the last podcast. You probably can't even tell about that either. But it is what it is. It's new hair. I'm feeling good. It's a little bit lighter. I only do about 2 inches off every time. And 2 inches is a lot, to be fair. So yeah, new haircut, feeling good. It's not as bad as one time I dyed it. It looks a lot better than one time I dyed it with a little bit of blonde. Here's a picture of that. Yeah. I don't know. I was going through a existential crisis, and my life turned upside down that year. I don't know. It was bad. It's whatever. I'm okay. It's fine. So, this is your first time with Hide Your Moms. This is a comedy podcast. Try to keep it pretty good. If you're returning to Hide Your Moms and you're a Hide Your Moms listener, then you know how this podcast goes. You don't have to explain anything, but don't cancel me, whatever. If I say something out of pocket, it's usually I didn't know or I was 100% joking. So once you got that out of the way, if you're soft and you can't handle that, don't watch the podcast because I don't know what's going to come out of my mouth. I never do. Most of the time it's pretty good, but I don't know. With all that, so we tried to film the podcast, and then right after I filmed the podcast, like the day later, we filmed it, was going to edit the next day, and then I was going to head to New York. Well, the podcast didn't work up, or didn't end up working out. So we just headed to New York, which I loved. It was so fun. I flew my mom out to New York. I had never been to New York. We got invited onto this podcast that's filmed out there. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to turn this into her birthday and Christmas present. She's never been to New York. It'll be a cool experience. We can make it into a little mini vacation for her birthday and Christmas. And so, yeah, it worked out. It was a little bit more expensive than I thought it was going to be, but not a big deal because we made it work and we had a great time. So I literally don't care how much it was because the memories that we made were great. Saw a hobo wanking his wiener. That was pretty crazy. I wasn't close enough in the proximity to like smell it or be in like the landing zone, but I did see him wanking it and I turned the other way. But the image hasn't left my mind. And I don't know if I'm a pervert or if I'm gay or what, but that image is just stuck in my mind and I can't get it out. It was just a lot, to be honest with you. And I don't know if I was ready for exactly him to whip out his hobo wiener and start like playing with it. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't like it, and I just felt like I had to tell someone because my mom didn't see it, but I saw it, and I just didn't know who to tell because it was just so disgusting. And I don't know. Maybe you guys didn't ask to know, but I feel like if you're watching the podcast, then you never know what you're going to want to know. So I just had to get that off my chest. Everything was good. We went to the Empire State Building. That was sick. And no, the Empire State Building is not that guy's wiener. It is the Empire State Building. Was built in 1930, I think. I completely made that up. I have no fucking idea. Anyway, we walked into it. I meant up it. Sorry, I did the motion. We walked up the Empire State Building, and it was fun. Like it was a lot of waiting a little bit to get up there, but the crew was dressed in these like, I don't even know. You ever seen like a toddler in a train conductor uniform for like Christmas? That's what the workers were dressed in. So that was funny to me. And I went up with my mom, and we're on the 80th floor. And it's kind of scary to talk about floors in New York because, But we went up to the 80th floor. That was great. Went up to the 86th floor. And it was even higher. And there was like an outdoor observation deck. And I loved it. It was so cool. I thought about jumping off, but they had these gates to where you couldn't commit suicide. I don't know. I feel like this country isn't free anymore. I feel like you have no choice. It's messed up. I feel like if you want to do it, you should be able to do it. Totally messed up. That is okay. So there's an example of a joke, right? So there's an example of a joke. Obviously, I never want to see anyone commit suicide. I never want to commit suicide. It is not something to. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have joked about it then. Okay, that one's on me. I shouldn't have joked about that. Maybe it's not a laughing matter. It's not funny. Okay, I was talking myself through it, and I realized that it's not okay. So my bad on that one. Won't joke about that again. So what happens now? I don't know. I'm feeling kind of mad at myself for joking about it. Not mad at myself. Okay, anyway. So we also went to 9/11. We went to 9/11, and that's not funny either. It's not. It's just, how am I going to follow a suicide joke by 9/11? The timing is so bad. Okay. Anyway. God. It was actually very moving. We went to the 9/11 memorial, like the two towers that weren't there. They're now like pools in the ground. I don't know. It's really cool. But we went to 9/11 on 9/11, and it was one of the most humbling experiences of my entire life. You like saw family members that had left the roses and the people and like their family members' names or their friends' names. And it was just crazy the amount of impact that had on the country and on New York City as a whole. It was unbelievable. It's always talked about. It's always, I don't know. I hope you guys still learn about it. But it was unbelievably moving, and seeing it and like standing in the middle of it and taking pictures. It was, I don't want to say gorgeous because that's not what it was. It wasn't like beautiful. It wasn't like, I don't want to say gorgeous because it's a very humbling time and like a very serious time. And it's not, the monument is beautiful. I think maybe what's not gorgeous is like what the monument maybe represents. Like that's like a very real thing that it represents. And that's like something not to joke about, but the monument itself was beautiful. What it represents, maybe not, but, like seeing it and seeing the impact it had on people and seeing oh my gosh, I'm stuttering my ass off. People hugging and like embracing each other and like, and almost praying, like everyone around there seeing the monument. And there were people from all over the world. There were people from Canada. There were people from literally everywhere. It was insane. And everyone was just together on that one thing. It was like everyone there was like, fuck terrorism. That's not okay. We're not going to forget what happened here. And it was from all over. There were people from England. There were people from Canada. There was a couple from Mexico that I talked to, which was crazy. Some people might mistake them for the ones that did it, which I would never do that. I don't think that's cool. But yeah, so it was moving, and it was something that I'm very glad that I did. It was probably You ever living through life and you are living through a day that you just know that you'll remember forever no matter what? You like there's no choice but you will remember it. It was one of those days. And I had caught myself in the middle of the day realizing that. And that to me made it even better because I was like, wow, I'm living in a moment that I'm not going to forget. It was almost like losing your virginity, right? I mean, I don't want to compare 9/11 to losing your virginity, obviously two different things, but they're both something in your life that you won't forget. And I think that is a beautiful thing, especially when you realize in the time that the day is happening, that it will be one of those moments. So I don't know if I have the best way with my words, but I don't know. I was just trying to explain it to you guys. Sorry if I somehow overstepped boundaries or whatever. Broadway. We went to Broadway, my mother and I. It was so fucking funny. Excuse my French. It was hilarious. It was unbelievable. People are so talented. I could not believe how many talented gay people I was watching up on that stage. Just gay after gay. Could sing, could act, could make me feel emotions. And I mean, I watched so it was Broadway is a musical, or is that what they're called? What are they? Plays. Broadway was a play that I've seen. And then the last play before that was I watched a play in like my own high school. So like seeing a bunch of professional gays, and I don't know, not all of them were gay, but I looked a lot of them up on Instagram. They're all pretty gay. They're the most talented humans probably in the world in the entertainment industry. And I think they are not paid enough and they're not held on a pedestal because I don't know if there's like a big enough market for that, or I don't know what it is, but it's incredible. They could sing. They can freaking dance. They can freaking act. They were tap dancing. They're hilarious. And it's unbelievable, like how they're able to, I don't know, it's unbelievable how they're able to do it. It was very cool to watch. I just felt like the whole trip was one of those moments where I was going to remember every moment for the rest of my life because it's always talked about in movies and it's always brought up and I don't know, it's unbelievable. And going to see through that stuff was so cool. So shout out the gays on Broadway. You guys are unbelievable actors. Me and my mom saw The Book of Mormon. It was hilarious. It was the type of comedy that I absolutely love and that you don't see much anymore, especially like in New York, which is crazy. It is a comedy that goes over the top. If you aren't okay, like kind of like what I said at the beginning of this podcast, if you aren't okay with getting a little grungy, getting a little over the top, you probably shouldn't go to the Book of Mormon because it's hilarious. Or if you're Mormon and you're going to get offended, you probably shouldn't go either. Unless you can take a joke as well and still believe in what you believe in. But it was so funny. There was a point where in the show where the Mormons were talking about being gay, not the actors were gay, but in the show that they were playing Mormons, so they're like not allowed to be gay. They were talking about being gay and how it's like not okay and you got to just like turn it off. That was fucking hilarious. There was a point where there was this like scene of a kid dreaming and it was hell and his dad was there. And Hitler was there, and like Jeffrey Dahmer was there. And at one point, Jeffrey Dahmer was humping his dad. It was, I mean, I don't know. It was like, that's how over the top it got. And I love over the top stuff because I just feel like it's not done anymore because everyone's so soft and we just can't realize that it's a joke. But if you go to that play, you'll know it was so fucking funny. I loved every minute of it. It was unbelievable. And that's all I got to say about that. Let's see. After that, the next day, my mom and I got invited onto a podcast. The podcast is called Red. It's on iHeartMedia. And I think I have that right. It was definitely the most professional podcast that I've ever been a part of. It was pretty incredible. They had producers and makeup rooms, and I didn't get any makeup done. Me and my mom didn't. We were good, but like the hosts were getting makeup done and stuff. It was crazy. It was unbelievable. It was in like a high-rise studio, which was crazy. On the way there, I saw a hobo jerking himself off. That's not a lie. And it was crazy. So we get in there and they're interviewing someone else, or like doing the podcast or interviewing. It's not like an interview slash podcast. Podcasts are interviews, but they're also like conversations. So I don't know what you'd call that. But anyway, they're doing their podcast with someone beforehand, and it was I don't know if it was an influencer. I don't know who it was, because I don't know who it, like, I don't know actually. I don't know. I didn't know who it was. Like, it wasn't Matthew McConaughey or anyone that I've ever seen on TV. So, I didn't know. And I didn't know if I wanted to ask, or if I wanted to get on my knees and like bow down, or I just didn't know who it was, like how famous they were or how cool they were. I don't know. They smelt good. That's all I know. They smelt good. They waved to me. It was a lady. She smelt good. I think it was a lady. I don't know. I didn't check in. She seemed to be a lady. I didn't see a cock. So I'm going to go with lady. She smelt good, and she waved at me very ladylike, and she left. And then it was our turn to go on the podcast, and I was very nervous. My mom was absolutely shitting fucking bricks. She was shitting her pants. Here's a picture of her shitting her pants. I knew she was. I put it on my Snapchat. Spencer Nolan 3 if you know me on Snapchat. But it was so funny. It was so unbelievably funny, because I could tell how nervous she was. And I don't think that people interviewing us knew how nervous she was, because they just don't know her like I do. But we go on the podcast. It's like 40 minutes long. We do great. I think the podcast comes out... I'm going to be honest, I don't really know. I think they told me like December, like late December, which is pretty far away, but they like record a lot of pre-recorded podcasts, and then they throw them out like every week. So ours just like falls in line when it's scheduled. I don't know. I'm not in control of it. If I had the podcast right now, I don't know. I would know more, but it's hilarious, and it was great. Mom did good. She was only nervous like at the very beginning of the podcast. Her voice was like a little soft, and she was like, she had a couple chuckles like in her throat, but then like we started talking like more, and they started bringing her into more conversation, and she just like lit up the room like a star. Like mom killed it. Like, it was mother and then me sitting there. So when that comes out in 2 months or so, I'll let you guys know. But speaking of podcasts, we're on one right now. This is Hide Your Moms. This has been a solo podcast. Went over this last episode. I think we had 3 guests, but this is going to be not a solo podcast forever. Okay. I want you guys, ladies and gentlemen, to tell me who you want on the podcast. Anyone. If it's a micro influencer that you talk to on TikTok that I maybe not know about, if it's someone that lives near Florida that you think would be funny, if you want me to interview someone that works at McDonald's, I would love to do that. Like, this is going to be every week, interview, conversations, let me know. Okay? Let me know. It doesn't have to be someone I know like fully. Okay? Let me get to know some of your favorite people. I can reach out to them, ask them. Probably everyone won't say yes, but I feel like a lot of them would like to go on it. Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, drop them down below. So moving on from that, after the podcast, we went on a carriage ride. Mom and I did. I felt bad because Mom was really excited for the carriage ride, and she put a lot of work into it, and she paid a lot of money for it. And I loved it. It was fun. But the horses, like, I felt like they just weren't very, like, they have horses in New York City, if you think about it. There's, like, only one patch of grass for horses or for anything in New York City. I was feeling bad for the dogs that lived in New York City, because where do you take them? There's only like Central Park, and that's it. So they were bigger horses, and I don't know. I felt bad because where do you walk? Where are you walking? Where are you going? All you do is just walk around in a carriage ride around like Central Park, and then you just go back to, like, they said, we asked because they said there was like a stable. Okay, but there's a stable, but I know that stable doesn't have enough room for these horses to run around. So felt bad for the horses. I was being a pussy. I should have just enjoyed it. That might have been my first strong P word on the podcast in 11 episodes. I don't know. Maybe I've said that before. Maybe I shouldn't be saying that. Sorry. But yeah, so freedom of speech, honestly, whatever. And I was calling myself it. But the carriage ride was good. We saw where a lot of movie scenes are filmed, saw where John Lennon was assassinated, which was pretty sad. I mean, he wasn't there. He was assassinated. So, yeah. Fuck, man. I don't even know John Lennon. If I'm going to be honest with you, I don't even know who John Lennon was. If there's anyone older here, like I know he was in the Beatles and I know he had like an Asian girlfriend that like broke up the band, but that's it. That's all I know. I don't know like if she killed him or if there was like John Lennon and her and his like Asian girl were like doing threesome. I don't know what was happening and why he got killed. I don't know. John Lennon like wasn't my homie, and I actually don't even think my parents were to the age of being able to present a baby. He died a while ago, I feel like. Yeah, I think my mom said something about being like 12. So 12 years old. What the? Is my hand glitching out? It's here, right? Or is it just behind that and I'm freaking out? I don't know. That's tripped me out. I don't know. But I don't know John Lennon. He's dead. Rest in peace, John Lennon. His music is very good. He has some very good songs. I like the Beatles. I don't listen to them as much, but they have kept up in like pop culture a lot. It's like Beatles and like Ice Spice right here. I don't know what anyone from the Beatles looks like, and I don't know what Ice Spice looks like, but one's pretty old or dead, and like one's shaking ass. So I don't know if you can really compare them, but they're the top of the top. So that was the carriage ride. We did we were only there for 3 days. So 3 days, 2 nights. Me and my mom were fucking, emphasize the fucking, we were bunkmates. I put mom in charge of the hotel. She got a bed on top of a bed, and then there was a bathroom behind the bed, and that was it. We had a window. It was like, imagine a cruise ship, but smaller than a cruise ship. That's where we were. It like I had to go in the bathroom to just change. I couldn't even. I don't know. We were so close. Like I was walking around her and I was like, excuse me, and I was on the top bunk and I pissed the bed sometimes, so I was nervous. But the ladder was so little that my mom couldn't even probably get on the top bunk if she wanted to. So I had to go top bunk. I pissed the bed. I was nervous because I thought I was going to pee on my mom. You never want to pee on your mom, but sometimes you can't control it. Luckily, I didn't. I don't plan on ever peeing on my mom. Other than last week when she got stung by a jellyfish and I did pee on her. But that is not true story. I'm pretty sure I talked about that in the last episode, but I don't remember. I don't really remember what I talk about in any of these episodes. I kind of just like ramble, and stuff goes on in my life that I want to share. Stuff that I'm feeling goes on in my life that I want to share. That's really what happens. I'm going to need a drink because my throat is giving out. Fresca. It's pretty good, honestly. I enjoy it. Soda water. Grapefruit citrus. It's good. Started drinking Frescas in Hawaii. People were like shitting on me though because they have so much. Oh my gosh, what's that stuff called? Iodine, or the stuff that they say like gives you cancer. That's in like Diet Cokes, and like they say like if you drink Diet Cokes. Well, there was a study done. I just want to let you guys know this. I'm not even going to fact check this because I know it's true. I just don't know which college it was. But there was a study done by university, a high up college, on the effects of like drinking Diet Coke and what it would do to you and how much. What is that stuff called? I don't know what it's called, but it's called. It's something that's in it that's like. Oh, aspartame. That's right. So aspartame is in Diet Coke and Fresca. They say that if you have aspartame, if you like ingest aspartame, you're going to get cancer. Which I believed, so I stopped trying to drink Diet Coke, stopped trying to drink Fresca. It's all a bunch of bullshit. There's a study done that proved that if, I don't know the exact number, but if it would take like 200, over 200 Diet Cokes a day to like actually have enough aspartame to cause any type of harm to you. And once I read that study and I was like, okay, why am I suffering then? Why am I suffering in silence? No one cares if I drink Diet Coke enough. Or Diet Coke or not. I'm just choosing not to love my life. So I started drinking Diet Coke again, and I realized that I've been a lot more active, and I was able to get off Viagra, and I'm just kidding. I'm 21. I don't need Viagra. Ping! Ping, ping! I'm good. What was I talking about before aspartame came into the playbook? New York. It was a great time. Oh, yeah. We were bunkmates. So it was time to go. My mom's ticket had the wrong last name on it. I was the one that bought her a plane ticket, so I put her old married name. I put Nolan on it. She doesn't go by Nolan anymore. She went back to her maiden name. And so I put Nolan on it because I was like, sorry, Mom. You're my mom. I thought we had the same last name. Not my fault. You got a divorce and ruined my life. She didn't ruin my life, but that was a complete joke. Anyway, put her wrong last name on it. She starts freaking out. She doesn't fly as much as I do. So she's like freaking out, like, I'm not going to be able to fly. The ticket's wasted. I'm going to buy a whole new ticket. Like, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to miss my flight. And I was like, holy shit, Mom, all you have to do, go up to the counter, give them your fucking thing and be like, hey, my name's wrong. Can you change it for me? And I haven't checked in yet, blah, 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 blah. I am getting this earwax out of my ear. You want to know who's next level fucking crazy? People that eat their earwax. People that fucking eat their earwax are fucking disgusting, dude. That's worse than eating your boogers. Okay, anyway, what was I saying? Oh, so she goes up to the kiosk and she's getting help, and it's the easiest fix in the world. It's unbelievably easy. She has to do nothing. All she says is what I told her to say. She fixes it. Boom. It was done. Solved her freaking issues of being scared that she was going to be lost in New York City forever. Says at Home Alone 2, mother. Anyway, that was sad because after that we had to say our goodbyes. I was flying home to Florida. She was flying home to Kansas. So we were not going to be riding home together, it was sad. We gave each other a hug. I was in a different terminal, so I had to go get on a public bus. That was just unbelievably fantastic. Guess what? When I got on the public bus, there was no wieners being jerked. Thank gosh. We give each other our hugs. It was good. She wanted to cry, but I don't think she did. She's always sad about that, but I'll see her at like Thanksgiving, so it's not that big of a deal. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I think it's not a big deal. It is kind of a big deal, but I'll always see her again, I feel like. Until I don't. So maybe I shouldn't jinx that. Knock on wood. So hopefully everything's fine. So I don't know. So I got back. She got back literally the same night I got back. Everything was perfect. So anyways, finally got home from the plane ride, and I've just been chilling ever since. It feels good to get back into like a routine. I love trips and I love going and making memories, but I honestly don't know if I love them as much as just being in a routine, putting my head down and like getting stuff done. I don't know. I don't know if I'm autistic or I just like doing the same thing over and over and over again. Might be a little bit of both. So I've just been trying to learn how to cook because why not? I don't know how to cook. I've only been cooking I've cooked like the same meal like 3 times over like the last 3 years, and that's it. I don't know how to cook. So I've been trying to cook. If you follow me on TikTok, then you know I've been trying to cook. So that started the whole new series. in my little damn, what's that called? A apron and a hat. All I need is a rat. Fuck a bat. Oh shit, there's my lat. You better run, you better scat. Is that a tire? Oh no, it's flat. I got me a gun, blah, blah, blah. So I've been cooking. But yeah, I don't know where that series is going to go. I'm trying. It's hard, but I made tacos episode 1. Episode 2, I don't know what I'm going to make. I think I'm going to try to make some type of like pasta because I've never made pasta. But over 100,000 people have seen that, me trying to cook, which is a little embarrassing. So, not really. It's what it is. I don't care, actually. I really don't care. What's been happening? What's been happening in the news? Since I last talked to you guys, Trump almost got shot again. He got shot once, almost got shot again. I don't do politics, but damn. Who's hiring these shooters because they suck? They can't hit a damn thing. I don't think anybody should be killed. But like, the facts are the facts that these shooters suck. I'm glad they suck because you never want to see anyone get shot. But I mean, if you really wanted this guy gone, wouldn't you just like hire someone that could do it? Whatever. Don't hire me, IRS. I'm not coming for you. What else is in the mail? Beloved Russian spy whale Havladimir is found dead under mysterious circumstances. Oh, beloved or beloved? Beloved Russian spy whale? They have a damn whale that's a spy? You imagine the radar? We got a submarine inbound, 12 o'clock, 200 meters outside. He is 40 below sea level. He is armed and dangerous. Boo, poo, boo, poo. This is the radar sound. Boo, poo. I think it's a fucking whale. Negative. Can't be a live whale. It has to be a submarine. What are these Russians doing? Boo, poo, boo, poo. Captain, it's a fucking whale. Yeah. I'm autistic, which is fine. Means I'm happier and I love life more than anyone else. And screw everyone. Yeah, I don't know what to say about a beloved Russian spy whale. It's dead. How did it die? I don't know. That's pretty sad, though. Maybe they shouldn't make him a Russian spy and he wouldn't be dead. Insane. Let's see what else. After months on the run, a murder suspect falls through the ceiling and into custody. Damn. His plan really fell through. Get him out of here. Put him in cuffs. I don't know where this energy is coming from. What a poor kid. Sorry, bud. That actually does suck. What's up next? Weird. Why the popular campaign? Weird. Why the popular campaign insult stings more in Minnesota? I don't know what the fuck that means. I'm moving on. Absolutely incredible. Man rowing solo across Atlantic is surrounded by whales. Okay, is all of global news just whales? Is this Planet of the Whales? Sequel to Planet of the Apes? Water version? What is going on? He just was rowing solo. I would be scared shitless, out of my mind. I would be so sad. I would cry. I would poop. What? Okay, first of all, not even the whales. Who is rowing solo across the Atlantic Ocean, dude? The ocean in a rowboat. Do you know how big waves get? That is the dumbest thing I have ever heard or seen. Yeah. Uh yeah, hey, is God? Is this you? Yeah, how's it going, buddy? Uh I'm just I think I want to die actually. I don't know. I don't. Is it all right if I just die? Well, you're not allowed to kill yourself. I would just go ahead and row across the middle of the Atlantic. Okay. Like what? So stupid. What's next? A robot gets a face of living skin that allows it to smile. Hell no. No. Because as soon as they have smiles, next is going to be a vagina. And there's already enough horny ass people on this planet. No. Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. No one's going to want to date a man or a girl anymore. That's where this world is going, honestly. I think that if I honestly wanted to, I could wait maybe 30 years. Every standard and every option that I want or trait that I want for a woman to have, I could just throw in a robot and then I could just marry and start a family with a robot. I think. I honestly think I could. I mean, what else? Hey, robot, I want you to have big boobs. All right. I mean, honestly, this is what we're doing because it already has like they're able to put a robot skin, a living skin that allows this thing to smile. Okay, what's next? I want double D's on my robot. Okay, I'll take those. Yeah, I would like a butt that I can't see past. Okay, we'll add that caboose there. Sure, let's throw the perfect straight smile that floss can't even fit into. They're so straight. Okay, yeah, we'll do that. Let's just throw that she will beat me up if I'm being a bad boy. Let's just throw that trait in there. All right, yeah, we'll do that. So like what the fudge, dude? What I mean, weird. So fucking weird. Next. Another monolith appeared near Las Vegas. Who's behind these mysterious objects? I'm going to be honest with you guys. I wish I could make a joke about this or like comment on it, but I don't know what a monolith is. A monolith is something that I would have called that hobo's wiener. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what this is. I'm going to move past it. Moving on. Shout out the monolith, though. I might nickname that mine. Nah, whatever. Have you seen this emotional support gator? Wally's owner says he's lost in Georgia. You own a fucking alligator? What? Wally has many fans in Pennsylvania and across social media. His owner is enlisting their help, saying Wally was kidnapped, located by a trapper, and released into a swamp, vacationing in Georgia. Okay. What, dude? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. We have robots getting vaginas and alligators as pets, dude. I mean, what is going on in America or in this even world? Why? He's holding the thing. He's holding it. Why do you have an alligator, dude? Oh, it makes me so mad, dude. He could literally chomp you up into bits. You're insane. You're actually insane. Why? So stupid. Everyone on national news is just like almost signing up to die because they just like want to live that way. Yeah, I'm going to swim solo across the Atlantic. Yeah, might as well just have a fucking apex predator as my pet. Who? Might as well, you know? Gosh. I'm done. I don't know if I can do any more. I don't think I can do any more global headlines. It's holy shit. Goodness. I'm gonna move into something like more positive. I don't even know what to say. Why are we doing the things that we're doing, America? Golly. On the bright side, it is the middle of September, and our fall drop for Spency is coming out. I talked about it a little bit in the podcast last week, I think. Or no, maybe I didn't. I think I talked about that in the podcast with my mom that got canceled. I don't know. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Well, anyway, the fall podcast, I will be releasing a lot of information. Not podcast, drop. Spency clothing drop. A lot of info. If you don't know what Spency is, it's a brand that I started. It's a beach company. So anyway, I have a lot of good news coming this week. Should be able to do. You'll be able to see the items. You'll be able to see what you want to get. Everything's sold out in a day or two last time. So if you do want to get something, you're going to want to be on the site the time that it drops. I will have a drop day. Excuse me. Oh. I will have a drop day. I'll have a drop time. You'll know. You'll have links. You'll have everything. You'll know what you want to get. Some of the items from last. I don't know if I said this last podcast. I can't remember because I don't know if it was with the one of my mom or what. I know I said it one time. I feel like. Anyway, I'll say it again. Some of the best items from the last drop are coming back. I get so mad when I can't think of words. And then new items that are coming in fall are coming. And I don't know yet if it's been confirmed yet, but I'm pretty sure that there is going to be a. Maybe I shouldn't say this if I don't know for sure. I'm not going to say it. Not yet. Because I don't know. I have no idea. Should I say it? No, it's whatever. Yeah, whatever. So, yeah, just make sure you want to get something. And if you do want to get something, make sure you do. If not, totally fine. But yeah. Gosh, it feels good. It honestly feels so good to be back podcasting and just like I said, in a routine, getting stuff done, doing the things that I want to do, talking about the things that I want to talk about. Can't wait to get guests in here. With that, let me know, because this podcast, the background and stuff is pretty bland, yeah? So I want to add different things in here. So I'm going to have a bookshelf back here. Not a bookshelf, but like a normal shelf. And a shelf back here. And you'll be able to... I'm going to put stuff on the shelves, and it'll look more homey, and it'll look better, and it just won't be like a purple background. So if you want something to go on the shelf, let me know by sending it to my P.O. box. I'll put my P.O. box on the screen. Whatever you send me for the P.O. box, I will put it behind me, and we'll just kind of like build the background of this podcast together. So like if you're watching it consistently, then you can know, like, I don't know, you could like see what you sent, and it'll be like in the podcast that you watch. And I just think it's a good idea it'll include, and it'll make the podcast room look better, and it'll make it feel more homey. And every time you watch the podcast, you'll see your item that was sent to the P.O. box back there. So I don't care what it is. I don't care if you draw me. I don't care if it's a hide your mom sign, or I do need more hide your mom signs if you want to do something like that. I don't care if it's a note or whatever. People are a lot more creative than I am. So you just send it over to the P.O. box that's on the screen, and then I'll put it back there. So, yeah. I don't have anything right now. The only thing I have is this hide your mom sign. That's it. We got a lot to cover. So much. And I don't know how long the frame will be like right there, but, or like how do I explain that? Like the camera will be this angle. It might be a little bit more zoomed out. I don't know. We'll see. But for right now, the angle is going to stay the same. But like as I get more stuff, I'll probably zoom the angle out so you could, see all the stuff that's it. But yeah, that's what's going on in life. Podcasting, trying to cook, New York, Spency. I could never get away with anything because you guys know everything about me in life, basically. So it is what it is. I'm trying, working my butt off. It's hard. It's hard in this. Do I want to say industry? I guess, yeah, it's an industry, like entertainment industry, social media industry. It's rough. It's rough because, well, let's say this. I go through a lot of mental battles, lots of them. Like so many. I live by myself. I work for myself. So it's like everything's on me. I have a lot of time in my head. I'm going through a lot of silent things. And I try not to put them on the outside, but I feel like maybe I'm starting this segment of the podcast, and I kind of did it last podcast when I opened up about how I was kind of feeling. So I'm going to do it again, but I'm going to turn it into a segment to where I do it every podcast to maybe help you guys out with something or another. I don't know how it'll help you, but I just hope it will. So I'm just going to call this like real talk. This is real talk on Hide Your Moms. Won't be as many jokes, and we're just going to get into what I'm feeling, and maybe if you're feeling it, it'll help you because I say it out loud. And if you have me on Snapchat, then you probably know because I talked about this yesterday on Snapchat, but if you don't, what I'm trying to say is this is something that I've been going through in this like business or entertainment industry or whatever. You have to like stay so like consistent, and every day like doesn't pay off, if that makes sense. Like it does in the long run, but you don't really see it. Oh gosh, I don't know how to explain this actually. Yeah, I do. So in this like business of doing social media and starting a brand and having a podcast and trying to entertain and stuff like that, it goes like this. Like I literally thought like, okay, if I get 1 million followers on TikTok, I will be good. I will be happy. No one can ever hurt me or touch me again. I feel amazing. I'm blessed. Like, yes, so blessed, but stuff comes with that. Like more responsibility. I don't even know how to explain it. So this is how I'm going to do it. There's really high highs. Let me move my mic down here so you can see this. There's really high highs like up here. And then after you go off that high, like it's great. It's so good. It's it might be a day. It might be 2 days long, maybe 3 days long. It's such a good high. And then you drop so far. It doesn't just go here. It drops so far down here. And then you're going to go here, 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 just searching for another high. And sometimes it won't even drop. Like this is like normal, like baseline, and it'll drop down here. And like just getting up to baseline is great if you can, but you're going to be functioning, doing this type of job and stuff down here most of the time. And then you'll have that 1 day a month or 1 day every 2 weeks or whatever. It's rare to get that day. It'll bounce back up and you'll be on top of the world. You're the man. You feel like you know everything. You feel like everything's going to be all right. That lasts for about 3 or 4 days. Sometimes it lasts a week. Then it drops back down and you're down here again and you're fighting just to get back to base level. And if you could get to base level, then you're fighting for that one up there again. And so it's just a battle. And this is in this work, but I'm sure this is like in your guys' lives too. It's just a battle of a lot of highs, a lot of lows, and somehow trying to enjoy the entire thing, which I have been struggling with. Oh man, a lot. A lot. It'll be the highest of high and then the lowest of low. And I asked for advice on it, and I did a little bit of research trying to figure out why I was feeling the way I was feeling. Because if I am feeling a certain way, I'm sure I mean, I'm not the first person on earth. There's a billion other people. So I know other people have felt the same way I do. So you look it up, and I don't know. I don't know how much therapy is, and I don't know if it's, I don't know. Maybe I'm just scared to go to therapy because I had to go to it. I had to go to therapy a lot when I was a kid, and that means I relate therapy to going through something really, really bad. And when the stuff that I'm going through now isn't as bad as what I went through with a kid, so I don't really want to go back to therapy. That's a whole nother story. But yeah, I've just been trying to deal with these highs and lows. And what I've learned, and like what everyone says really, is like the key to it all is everything that you're doing. Like everything that you're doing, you somehow need to enjoy the baseline days, because those are the most of the days in life. You need to somehow figure out how to put those baseline days a little bit higher up on the chart, because those are the days. If you don't have those baseline days, you'll never have one of those great weeks or like one of those monumental moments in your life that just you're on top of the world. Everything's amazing. Nothing could hurt you. Everything's great. Like you have to have these days, and you even have to have the lower days to even feel that. And it was related to like an actual real world thing, like this thing that I just put together. It was related to a real world thing when you're in the when you're in the hospital, and you see it in movies all the time, the meter that shows your heartbeat, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Well, what happens when you're dead? What happens when you're dead? Be flatline right across the middle. You don't want that. You got to have the lows to get the highs. You got to have the highs to get the lows, and back down to the highs, and back down to the lows, and back down to the highs. And you got to learn to enjoy those, is what I was taught. You got to learn to enjoy those together, because if you're just like that, you're dead. So I don't know. I thought that was interesting to me, that you could find a real world thing and use it as like a symbol or a graph or a, I don't know, a sign maybe. I don't know what the exact word is, but to use that to put into what I was feeling mentally out there. And so I thought that was really cool. And there's not a lot of things that there's not a lot of times where you can explain words into like real world actions. And I think that it really did help me a lot. And so now I'm trying to like focusing for like the next couple of weeks, trying to enjoy the days that are down, enjoy them. Like, yes, they happen. Realize they're not as bad as you think. And then when I'm up here, really, really enjoy them and be way more thankful than I ever would have been, because you never know when you're going to go back down here. And when I do go back down there, I need to enjoy them and keep trying, because if you give up and you just want to live like that, dead. So, yeah, hopefully that helped. I can only talk like my feelings and like the way I'm feeling for so long before I want to throw up. So yeah, I like to just instead talk about my feelings, just shove them really far down, and I'm going to put laughs over that, and I'm going to put shopping sprees over that, and I'm going to put other people's feelings over that, and I'm just going to stack it all the way down so I never have to deal with my own feelings. And then I'll just worry about it like 20 years later, when it like builds up and explodes. But until then, it's like, it's fine. I don't really care. So, yeah, that's the real segment that I wanted to explain. And I think we're going to do that every week. Like I said, I like that idea. I hope that I can relate. I got one comment last week's podcast, or 2 weeks ago or whatever, last episode 10. I got a comment that said like they were feeling kind of the same way, and it was like real. And that one comment inspired me to keep talking about it, because sometimes all you need is just a little feedback, even if you don't get a lot of comments or whatever. But like that one comment really did help me. And so that's what I'm going to do. That's it, right? I'm going to do that and talk about it, start the series. And that way, every week, what I'm going through. Maybe you guys have been through or are going through or haven't gone through, but it saves you from going through it. Or maybe it'll help you before you even get to going through it. You guys know what I'm saying. But that's the plan with that. Gosh, I need a drink. Oh, goodness gracious. But upcoming is this weekend. I'm going to a friend's. I don't even know how this is happening or how I get invited to this type of stuff. I'm going to a friend's, like, there's like this party for this business opening up. I don't know exactly like what it is or whatever, but it's some party. It's a Gatsby party, which means I got to dress up in the 1920s. So I don't know. How do I dress up like someone who beats their wife and cheats on their wife and has the stock market crash and eats potatoes and beans? I don't know how to... Dude, it's the fucking ice machine. It went off and it scared the shit out of me again. Gosh, that's terrifying. Oh my gosh, I hate that. I hate that. Anyway, Gatsby party. I don't even know how I got invited. I don't know how it's going to be. I'm pretty excited for it. I hope it's fun. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. So, what am I looking at? Gosh, my eyes are going bad. But yeah, so we'll do that. We should have a guest on next episode if everything goes good. I do hope you guys enjoyed episode 11. Yeah. You let me know. You be real with me. Am I getting better at this? What do you want to see? Is there something that needs to change? I feel like I've came a long way from episode 1. So, yeah, just be real with me. Like, you have to change something. I don't know because I work for myself, so I don't know how I'm doing, right? So I don't know. It's like if you don't work by yourself, you know how you're doing. You're going to get a raise, you're going to get a promotion. Like, the only way I know how I'm doing, like at my job or like my career, because I'm employed, I don't know how I'm doing. The only way I know how I'm doing is you guys. So if you don't tell me, then I don't know. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that. There is that episode. Love you guys so much. Peace out.